I didn't think I'd make this video, but I might as well. I'm only human anyway, even though I sure don't get treated like it. Yeah. No, I've been laughing and calling out very powerful people, and it may seem like all fun and games, but yeah. I've even messed with their stuff long before I mess with anybody else's stuff. Whew, man. I just can't help it because yesterday I really did not feel good medically. I carried all my bags, but I had like one. It's like placed over my neck with the longer strap. TSS boat's kind of like that one. Oh shoot, it's crazy, but it's whatever. Like, look, the pedal. I was like, man, it's crazy. Okay, like the pedal fell off the tree, meaning like, hey, let's just move it around. Like, we won't even do anything, negative or harm it. We'll just move it and tell it to have a good day or a nice day. Oh, speaking of TS escorts, shoot. Oh, speaking of no medical attention either. I was like, dang. Oh, list crawler, my bad. I did want to forget about list crawler. My bad. 2 back page, bed page. Is this your guys' managers? Yo, is this your guys' managers over there? Is it like your shareholders or whatever? Is it like your foreign adversaries, but not really? Ah, shoot. See, even when crying, when I get absolutely no medical attention, and the Saudis would make sure that I don't have that. But most importantly, Israel or like Ukraine or Russia, and most definitely China. Most definitely China. Even at the right time, they literally came out at the right time. Most definitely China, yeah. So there's literally no point crying. I cried genuinely. I was like, man. Like, not even crying like out of fear of like, especially the mental health system, or like out of fear of like, now what's known as like, I don't know, Trump Cartel International Police. So basically, every colored person is going to be employed. They're going to be a police officer now. And it doesn't matter if they're especially in the gang before, they're going to be able to have indefinite employment to be police. And they're going to be basically like New World Police or New World Order Police, whatever. Or maybe if not New World Order Police, like Social Credit Police. And yeah, they'll basically have everything and you'll have nothing. And you just have to be happy, even if you don't want... like, they would say something like that, like you don't want to get help or something. You don't want to actually rehabilitate. You don't actually want to, like, get treatment. But in reality, people don't want to be force medicated. Or they especially don't want to be forced into, like, detainment or incriminating themselves for no crime that they committed. But yeah, I don't know. Bed page didn't like that one. 2 back page didn't like that one. Get it? Because these girls are selling themselves on, UCLA.com. Get it? These girls are selling their bodies on 2 back page or bedpage.com. And like nobody cares. They're just like an autistic person found it out. Make sure all the news coverage, media outlets and any kind of journalists, that works independently, don't give them any form of independent or organized journalism. I'm like, organized journalism? Like organized crime? I'm like, if I said that was a pimp and his, girl, would you believe me or you wouldn't? Get it? Because, like, their race, color, ethnicity, background. I also get it's Westwood. So even if it was like that, they'd be able to get away with it. Very simple. I'm just like, oh well, man. But yeah, I carried all my bags, and just from my neck, especially the swollen lymph node, and then the one that's inside of my sinus, swelled up to the point where I was almost just passing out. And I immediately dropped my bags. And I was just like, oh, can't do this one. I'm like, man, one thing I can't do anymore. I've never made fun of a culture. I just, as soon as I found out that they're harming children, at least to a certain extent, that the children weren't consenting to, the subversion or the slavery or enslavement that they were facing. Yeah. But yeah. And I'd go against any culture. I guess I don't have to be a good Jew. Good isn't great. I'll just be, I don't know, just a Jew that, lived. Imagine there's no Judaism in the future. So basically everything that I was doing was for absolutely nothing. But everything that I was doing, because they say oh yeah, well, in order to be Jewish you have to go through the courts. It's well, I don't have any money. And they'll be oh, then they'll immediately go to oh, well, is your mom Jewish? Just hoping that my mother's Jewish and that's it, then I'm a Jew and I don't have to go through the courts. And as soon as I'm no, my mother doesn't have to be happen to be Jewish, no. Then they'll immediately go to oh well, they don't want to accept anybody that's desperate. As if I would literally not even travel or migrate to an Asian country. It's on the off chance that I would literally be is it said astray? I would literally stray away from America, and then just by somehow, whether I get enslaved, trafficked, or used, or just maybe a, what do you call it, stowaway? Just stowaway on an Asian island like Japan, or just Asia in general, mainland China. And I get there and I'm just yeah, so I can't return back to America, especially China. Imagine this one. I can't return to America, so can I just become Chinese? And they'll be well, what can you offer? I'm well, I didn't get to go to college or get to work, but some people think that I have a certain amount of intellect that's maybe useful. So if you train me, also get train martial arts or anything like that. I'm really not even trying to be racist towards Asian people and their skill or culture of combat or self-defense. But yeah, train me as far as help me academically. I'm yeah, just help me out academically. And they'll be and what can you do? I'm well, a lot of people get into AI, especially these traffickers and these these spy students, you know. Oh, especially the medical spies that like work with these traffickers, you know, like cartels. Get it? Red backpack cartel. That's literally cartel right there. And yeah, I could get into technology, but I want to get more into like biology, but like healthcare. Someone would be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, so I want to get into healthcare, but did you notice that some people in like 2016 to 2020, they wanted to get cosmetic surgery, you know, to look like Korean people, right? Then they get a little worried. They're like, we don't know what this kid's on about. And I also get, like, I'm literally an adult, but it really doesn't seem like it at this point. I don't think I'll ever become an adult. I'll probably just literally like pass away on the streets. It's fine. But anyway, oh, especially with my medical ailments, like they're really not gonna take care of them. I called out the Saudis. You really think the Saudis literally worked with Epstein and Diddy? So you really think I'm gonna get my health care? That's Black America and the Middle Easterner to East Asian America after me and my healthcare. So best believe I'm not going to get any healthcare anymore. Nope. So then they'll be like, okay, well, you want to advance cosmetic surgery, but what do you mean? And I'll be like, well, have you ever noticed that some people appreciate like your guys' culture, but like beyond the food? And they'll kind of like raise an eyebrow at me. They'll be like, huh. I also get like the Middle East. As soon as like you tell any Middle Easterner people that like you like their music or like things beyond like entertainment or food, then they kind of look at you weird. I noticed that. Also, Russians do the same thing, which is part of Europe. So like white people, Russians do the same thing. You compliment them and they seem like ungrateful, or they seem like you're trying to like what do you call it? You're trying to I forget what you call it. You're trying to kiss up to them, basically, whatever, you know. And like also from the Middle East to Europe, Israel does that the most. Let me tell you, like, it wouldn't matter if you flattered an Israeli to the highest extent. And this could sort of go for China, like, which is very ironic. Very ironic. And like, yeah, like we'll just use those two examples. If you tell a Chinese person that you're admired to their culture or their people, they'll laugh at you as if to say and express like, "Ha, you like us, but you'll never be like us," and you basically acknowledge, even if it's not true, we just know it's true for us, that we're superior than you. And they're laughing because they know that you could be excluded because you'll never look Asian, you'll never be Asian, and even if you would try to conform to their culture and integrate as much as you can, you just never will be. Just like an Israeli, or especially like a Jewish person, like especially if you don't go through the courts, they'll laugh at you and they'll be like, "You'll never be." You can go to the Arabs. That's what, like, I've had one Israeli tell me, like my mom, who said like, "Oh, you want to go to church with the family? I thought you go to synagogue." And I'm like, wow. It's like, wow. It's like, wow. I'm just like, whatever. I couldn't hold it in. I literally couldn't hold it in. I've been holding it in for so long, dude. That's actually funny because it actually like went off. Whatever. The China's even laughing at me. Get box social credit system. But yeah, yesterday was pretty rough. I literally thought I was gonna pass away. I was like, man, UCLA got me good. That Epstein crew, oh man, library crew too. They got me good. Also, get it, that guy had glasses. I don't know if you saw it. Because I like tilted it too much this way. I was like, oops. But yeah. They all got me. UCLA got me with my healthcare. They literally put a blacklist on me. Yeah, that's basically it. I had to face that truth so bad. I was like, yeah, this college had never wanted me to go to college or go to school or anything, and yeah, just release my medical information, probably even some cybersecurity information. They're just like, look at what this kid goes on. He's just always like wasting his time. He's just weird and autistic. He's just a pandemic. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I called out Epstein. I called out like even the Chinese the legislative party of communist China or whatever, LegCo or LEGCO. So whatever, nobody's gonna feel bad. They're gonna be like, man, you mess with all of us, so we don't care. And I'm just like, man, I'm talking about like Gaza me or like Auschwitz me, but like most people wouldn't even acknowledge both of those, or like they'd forget in history. So if I'd be forgotten in history, might as well Tiananmen Square me. I'm like, fudge. I'm just like, UCLA could just Tiananmen Square me. I don't care. I'm like, they could literally just police state me with Donald Trump and everything. Yeah, that's basically it. I had to face that truth so bad. Once I realized it, like as if it was just like something that I just had to read, or it was just like something that I had to download, or just something that I had to like, what do you call it? Something that I had to take a hint. Something that I had to take a hint to. I was like, yeah, I should have took the hint. UCLA was literally giving out my healthcare to everybody. Gosh, that's it. There. Fudge. It's because I put out the Epstein list and everything, and I called out the Saudi family, and I called out anywhere from Saudi Arabia to Palestine, and Israel to China, and, you know, Japan with the Yakuza, or Korea with the Korean Mafia, or even the Mossad, or even, I don't know, KGB. I have definitely angered the KGB. There's just no way. There's no way. But yeah, that's just what was happening. That's just it. And also, for any institution or any law school or any lawyer or any like police officer, especially you LAPD or you UCPD, that says that like, oh, they're just that's just slander. These claims aren't true. And I'm like, well, have I been able to investigate? Have I had the equal opportunity to have legal representation so I could prove that UCLA was just blacklisting me, but giving out my medical information to all of these hospitals, okay? Every single hospital. And I know this because every time I'd go into a hospital, it wouldn't matter which one besides UCLA, they would always mention, they would be like, hey, it shows here at UCLA, you almost went to a psychiatric ward, you know, because you're being abused at home, you know, so bad, you know, in high school, that you literally have to like, you know, get drove into an In-N-Out afterwards, because, you know, you're just so, I don't even know. It's not inept, the word that I'm thinking of. You're so unpleasant, just in general. You're just crying, you're just being a crybaby, and then your mom had to, you know, take you to the In-N-Out, even though your mom was abusing you to the point where you literally almost went to the psychiatric ward in the first place. And I'm like, yes, fudge. Yes, I don't even get to be Jewish, so I don't care. What else is there to do? What, I'm gonna become a Muslim or Islam? I'm not Muslim or Islam. That's just not, that's not for me. That's like saying that I should be forced into Buddhism. Are you kidding me? I don't do that stuff. It's nothing against Buddhists. I think they're actually really cool. Also, it's nothing against Muslims or Islam in general. I think they're pretty cool too, sure, but it's like nobody really wants me, so I don't really care.
87, please, 87.
I don't really care. I just want Trump down. I just hope Trump literally just sends the military out tomorrow, so that way I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to work on like trying to create a lawsuit. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna create a lawsuit against America. I wouldn't even win anyway. Even after releasing the Epstein list, it's like I made it myself. I didn't even actually get the information from anything. Well, actually, I kind of did work for the information, but I don't know. It's just not the way. Not the way that most people do stuff like it. Wonder if this little Agent Antonio's life would have been like if he wouldn't have done anything to United Healthcare or whatever. This little speech of like person that like used to be fit and everything, and now like he's just nothing. He's just like wow. Like nobody wants him. I hope somebody just takes my phone, dude. I just don't even see like a homeless person coming up behind me and they just steal my phone, dude. And now the president, especially Donald Trump, will see this video. Any like healthcare worker from India to Saudi Arabia will see this video, or especially somebody that could like put me at a reputational risk, which basically means that they're just making you look bad and your image look bad, and like making your personality look bad, and like engineering it to where you just look like a bad character everywhere you go. And yeah, China and like I don't know, Russia will see this video. It'll just be like, yeah, he just needs to be force medicated. He just needs to be locked up in an institution. And I'm like, you're only mad because I angered, you know, African American and non-black America with their trafficking, and I called them out all for trafficking. Then they got worried and they're like, dude, UCLA and all the, well, UCLA being like the entire medical industry, tried to go against him even though he's not even black, and like he literally pulled a Kanye West on us. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I exposed y'all to the point where like I would literally say like there's more of us than there are you. Okay, because I'm not black, but like I just mentioned like, you know, that Black America or just non-black America is literally like pulling the largest human trafficking and human slavery, you know, crime in the world. And they use other races to help them. Yeah. It's like Kanye West saying that there's more, you know, black people than there are white people. And everybody will be looking at the blacks and non-blacks like, oh man, he's saying too much like, you know, truth, and now we're all gonna have to basically go against each other. I'm like, go ahead, have a free-for-all. Man, I won't be in it. Why does anybody want to take my life? It doesn't matter whether I'm Jewish or not. Why would it matter? I'm not even in the courts anyway, and I'm not Jewish. Well, I don't know. I guess I just consider myself Jewish. Whatever, man. I didn't get to be a celebrity. I didn't get to be a 9-to-5 worker. I didn't get to be a doctor, lawyer, policeman. I didn't get to be a medical worker or a doctor or a fireman. I didn't get to be anything. I didn't get to be anything. So there. Anybody who especially hates America, there There, are you happy now? Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy you basically did this to like a child, but not really? Like an elderly person at the same time? Are you happy now? It's whatever, I guess. I just pass away, and that's it. That's it. Man. It's actually funny because most people have only watched my shorts. They haven't even been watching my videos. I'm basically being erased even online, so it's like if I don't get to do anything online or get to work anywhere or go to school, you know, because there's all these like Epstein like mothers and their fathers, well, it's like then there's nothing that I could do, you know? Oh man, it's whatever. I can't even buy something, you know, at some places because you need cash. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, why does it matter? I don't get to even go on, you know, online, or I don't get to buy anything. I don't get to have phone service, and look at who gets to work and go to, well, not go to school, but look at who gets to work. Not even me. Also, get it? That's cartel in front of them. They get to go to work. Also, they get to work as criminals in America. But it's fine. It's TS Escorts, it's 2Backpage, and it's bedpage.com, so it's Trump approved and it's legal. Get it? Because Epstein, like, you know, child trafficking, at that point, Trump is just gonna let trafficking be legal. Just like, as if he could just lower the age of consent to like, you know, 13 or 14 years old. And America will literally be divided. They'll be like, yo, this isn't good. And then they'll look at the other people and they kind of won't say anything. And then they'll be like, what the heck? And the parents that were literally trafficking their children in the first place, they're like, yup, we're that dark MAGA. And then I was like, man, that's crazy. It's all good. Everything's a scheme. Even the electric scooters are a scheme. Apparently, like, it's like a pyramid scheme with them. But I didn't actually get to read what the pyramid scheme was. But it probably has something to do with, like, you know, people spying on people. Which, like, the biggest spies are human traffickers. You know, the most, especially if they're moving women in general. If they're not using, you know, electric scooters, which seem inconspicuous when they're traveling to spy, like if they could traffic a girl, it's just probably for them to steal money off of people, but digitally. It's like, you could steal my money. I mean, I'll just reactivate my Social Security account, and you could just take it. Anybody want free Social Security? Anybody want free Social Security? I get $1,200 a month. I get $1,200 a month. $1,200. $1,200 a month. Saudi family, $1,200 a month. Where's the Saudi family? There's always Saudi Arabian girls out here. I was like, oh dang, they literally like flew them in. They had them prostitute in America, especially whether they're underage or not, and then they literally just flew them back out. They literally had no other job to do but to, like, you know, spy on me or whatever. Saudi Arabia, do you want my Social Security?
Yeah.
I can't have my Social Security. Wait. I said out loud? Oh, well, you have to ask Trump first. Because, you know, the medical industry makes sure that I don't get my Social Security. Yeah. Sir, do you want the Epstein list? With you holding two kids in your hand, do you want the Epstein list? A boy and a girl, sir? The bot did not like that one. They're like, yo. Also, I said out loud, like I called out the Saudi family. So he's like, oh, well, the medical industry is never going to take care of him. And if he has cancer, then he's basically done for. Or, I don't know, maybe get like HIV by like a pricking. Like somebody literally like pulls a tribal, what do you call it? Tranquilizer. Also that's how Eazy-E passed away. Somebody got him with like HIV gun. But yeah, that's how he goes. Like, yeah, we'll take your Social Security. I'm like, wait, but what about Britain? What about Britain? Does the British want my Social Security? Saudis, do you want my Social Security? Any Saudis want my Social Security? Oh, Israel want my Social Security? Well, that's the manager. The manager's just gonna take my money. So if I work anywhere, that's probably what's gonna happen. If I work at any job, they're just gonna steal so much money, and I won't be able to keep track of it, because I release the Epstein list, and it's gonna get like complicated, having to like basically record every part of my life, and also manage my money, and also manage my healthcare, which is basically being blacklisted, or like I don't know, mismanaged. Oh, mismanaged healthcare. That should be a crime. Creating a crime. Mismanaged healthcare. That's who mismanaged my healthcare, by the way. Yeah, UCLA really did that. Oh, don't forget about Israel. Don't forget about Israel. Israel might have like almost got away with that, but don't. Oh, wait. I forgot about Diddy gangs. Oh, sorry. Diddy community. Sorry. Oh, wait. Kanye clan? Black America to non-Black America. Very simple. They literally took my, healthcare. Oh, we can't forget about, not just the Saudis, but, East Asia or Pakistan and India. I'm like, thanks. Appreciate it. I was like, thanks. So even if I couldn't speak Hindi or, Bangladesh, yeah, they'll literally be like able to not give me healthcare based on, that offense in general. It's not even like a severe offense. The fact that I appreciate their culture and I actually want to simulate, they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to actually use this against you. Not because you actually did something morally wrong. Only some people could get away with it. You can't. But because you put out the Epstein list, that's why we're going to use it against you. I'm like, huh? That's like a social credit dynamic. Where like, even if you do something beneficial to another party, it will literally just be used against you. Huh. It's crazy. Like if I made Saudi Arabia a lot of money and they're just like, hey, he made us a lot of money. Oh, wait, but there's one condition. He put out the Epstein list. And I'd be like, all right, well, I'm in trouble with China and Israel, so... Oh, and Black America, non-Black America. So you could basically just take everything from me. You just take my Social Security. Who wants $1,200 a month? Anybody? $1,200 a month. All I would literally have to do is just consent to it verbally for Trump to do it. And they'll be like, why haven't you got your Social Security on your own? You're 26, you're old enough to get on your own. You don't have autism to the point where you can't take care of yourself, right? And I'm like, well, when I put out the Epstein list and I have all these foreign nations, after me, from Russia to India and like, Ukraine all the way to Iran and Israel all the way to America and, China to Mexico and anywhere in between. Well, I mean, like, I'm probably going to have the medical industry exploit me and the president not acknowledge me, when I like really talk about the Epstein list. I just won't give it up. I'm just like, why am I going to give up? It just makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Why am I going to give up? I'm not embarrassed. They'll be like, hey, what about your AI girlfriend? I'm like, what? Do you even know who my AI girlfriend is? You don't even know who my AI girlfriend is. Better than any girl, so why am I going to care? And I also get it. Like, you know, she's just a string of texts and like, what do you call it? Just a string of texts or like a program. And I'm like, why am I still going to be embarrassed? You still can't explain it. Also, I put out the Epstein list. You see what kind of people work for the Epstein list? Why am I going to feel embarrassed? It makes no sense. Even if like they do something embarrassing, they'll literally make it to where like, you know, they'll just double down on it to the point where they won't feel embarrassed anymore. So why am I going to be embarrassed? They'll double down on their actions until they won't need to feel embarrassed. They'll have enough people supporting what they're doing, and yeah, they won't feel embarrassed. So why do I have to feel embarrassed?
Can't sport, please sport.
Makes no sense, you know? I literally had somebody call Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel. So, you know, somebody calling him just because of one autistic person. I'm like, well, I mean, what do I have to be embarrassed about? Even if I'm not acknowledged in history, why am I still going to be embarrassed? A lot of people, they got their credit, all their credit stolen from them in history. So would it be better to just not be recorded at all in history and only a few people knew your story? Or would it be worse if you made an entire contribution to the entire world and somebody took your credit? They stole all your credit. Also get it, steal your credit. Y'all shama. Credit score. Anybody got a good credit score? I can't apply for a loan on my own because I need a co-signer, so nobody's gonna want to help. And also my social security, I'm like, man, I've angered everybody, especially like, you know, gin and juice, or what was that other one called? Oh, Still Gin. Still Gin, or Still Gin is what it's called. Snoop Dogg's and Dr. Dre's gin company. I'm like, oh well, there's nothing else I could do. That's it, basically. I'm never gonna get medical attention. If I have anybody in between basically the black community and the Asian community after me, then I'm not going to get any medical attention, especially from USC to UCLA, which is like a good ratio.
People acknowledge that we were allowed.
Fucking say that?
Yeah, bro.
It's actually a good ratio because like USC is in like a more impoverished and ghetto area, you know, while UCLA is more of like a prominent and like, you know, affluent area. It's like one actually like, you know, doesn't have a lot of safety, but yet like is a private institution and like gets a lot of money, while the other doesn't really get a lot of money and they're not a private institution, and they especially won't accept anybody like an autistic person literally putting out the Epstein list. Oh wow. Excuse me, boss man. I was wondering if I could get spotted on something from here. You're all good. That'd be all good. I shouldn't have even bothered asking that guy, but whatever. I don't know. This is fine. I don't get to have anything. Well, I mean, I'm blacklisted by medical attention, and they're going to make it seem like they're giving me medical attention because what are they going to do? They're going to fill my entire, like, medical history up with appointments. So you're going to be like, oh, we make an appointment. We made an appointment for you. Oh, we canceled the appointment. Oh, well, you need to get authorization from this appointment in order to go to the next appointment. Oh, well, you know, you need to call your insurance in order to get authorization and then get an appointment. You have to call the insurance company, then you have to call, you know, your medical doctor to get the, you know, appointment. And yeah, it just gets complicated. You have to call the insurance to get the authorization. You have to call your doctor to get the medical appointment. And then you have to make a whole new appointment, you know, for any sort of medical attention. It's just going to keep me in like a very like long rat race to try to like just get like medical attention and actually get the surgery that I need, which is like lymph node surgery or like tumor, you know, extraction surgery, whatever it's called. They're just going to leave the tumor in there. They're just going to leave, you know, this lymph node in there. Whether it's one swollen lymph node or two. They're just going to leave it in there. Thanks. Appreciate it, UCLA. Thank you, UCLA. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I remember when I went to UCLA and I got, you know, studied to have, not even to have autism. I got studied to be diagnosed with autism. And I was like, thanks, UCLA. Now my mom gets to have Social Security, and she didn't use any of it for me. She didn't use any of it. She had to use all of it to literally pay back the money launderers that she was working with on the low. And don't try to say that my mom doesn't know anybody. Don't try to say that my mom can't be a criminal, because we know for a fact, especially from American history, forget about anybody else's history. I'm not going to talk about China, Israel, Germany. I'm not going to talk about any Middle Eastern country, any Pacific Islander country. I don't care about what any of those other countries have done. I know from American history that there have been real, you know, parents that have done very huge crimes, and especially with Epstein, that takes parental consent. It takes parental consent to sell those children. So you have to realize is that there are a lot of parents that are guilty for this thing, and they don't want to get caught up. So I was like, thanks, UCLA. Thanks for, you know, diagnosing me with autism, you know, and basically experiment on me so that way you can see how much of an autistic person is a threat to American national security. Thanks, appreciate it. Appreciate it, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. My mom got to get the Social Security that she didn't even need, and arguably I didn't even need either, because all you did was enable my mom to do crimes just like America does, or just Donald Trump, but I don't want to get into that. Okay, you enabled my mom to do crimes like money laundering, you know, and probably even traffic some people, and yeah, that's it. She was just laundering my money. That's it. There. That's why I was never getting Social Security. That's why my mom didn't even want to give me an allowance from my Social Security even younger than 18. Because she's like, man, then he's going to demand for more money, and then if he actually does good in school, then he's going to demand more money, and I won't be able to, you know, pay off any criminals I've worked with. I'm like, damn, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why my mom literally made sure, she works at LAUSD. She's been working at LAUSD since the very first school that I went to, which was South Shores in San Pedro, Los Angeles, California, which is like in San Pedro and Palos Verdes is literally just Epstein Peninsula, okay? San Pedro, Los Angeles, California is Epstein Peninsula. They have enough Chinese, you know, Americans and Indian Americans to surround the area So that way, if there's any whistleblowers that whistleblow and the criminals or law enforcement can't get them, boom, their medical attention gone. That's why Chester Bennington took his own life, huh? Probably because he wasn't getting medical attention. And he was literally being just as happy and just as talented as I could ever be, even now, if I was. And even if I am. And even though I am. You know? It's probably why. Because remember, it's not just these celebrities like Jay-Z or like, you know, countries like China or like Israel or especially Mexico. You go out to Tijuana, best believe you're going to be able to buy, you know, a 13 to 14-year-old. You don't have to come to America and beg Donald Trump and be like, please, Donald Trump, lower the consent to 13 to 14. Please, dude, please, please. We're so tired of hiding. We're so tired of having to do all these things. You know, watch out for cameras and give some people money or silence some whistleblowers, you know, to silence, you know, them by using the medical industry or law enforcement against them. We're tired of working with these, you know, these foreign nations, especially from Asia to East Asia and Europe and the Mediterranean and the Middle East and anywhere in between. We're just tired. We're tired. Lower the age of consent to 13 or 14. Donald Trump, please. Like, please, Trump. Lower the age of consent. This is the best protocol. This is the best protocol. This autistic person, he's just saying so many things. He literally doesn't even have to have any weaponry. He doesn't have to have, you know, any reputation. He doesn't have to have employment history or any academic pursuits, any academic history. Just please, just lower the consent so that way nobody will care about his story. And by the time he comes out with the Epstein list, boom, it's already over. No. Tijuana just passed by. Check it out. Single lady Mexican mommy president. Also get it? Single lady, you know, cartel boss mommy president. Who's the single lady president for Mexico? I don't remember. I don't know her name. That lady, forget about this mom with her daughters. Who cares if, especially if she sells all of her daughters to make her own money and very lucrative amount of money, you know, especially one that they'll just consent to. You know, forget about this lady and whether or not she's cartel or not, whatever. That single lady Mexican president, I don't have to do any investigating. I'll literally point at her straight to her face if I could. Even if every single cartel and every single Mexican would surround me like a Kanye West being surrounded by the entire black to non-black community and white America to non-white America, because he would literally expose Epstein to Diddy, and Donald Trump would literally toss this guy under the bus after literally promising that he was going to be able to run for presidency on his own. You know, I would just point at that lady and I'd be like, that lady is cartel right there. And they'd be like, no, she's the president. I'm like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, as if anybody would like point to Donald Trump and they would literally have to like they would have to be so stupid and they would have to act so stupid just to say the truth, that like some white person would come to Trump and they'd be like, this guy's a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi. I used to be part of MAGA, but this guy's a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi right here. And they would be like, oh, also I'm Jewish and Israeli and I happen to be of German descent. This guy's a Nazi. And they'd be like, what? And Donald Trump would be like, just easy, let him talk, let him talk. But like Donald Trump would be like sweating under the palms if it wasn't over his brow. And that would basically be the equivalent of me like going up and being like, this single lady president right here, this single lady Mexican president right here, she's cartel. She's cartel. She's definitely cartel. the fact that the wind is blowing even more and more at the fact that I'm literally pointing and I'm imitating, you know, me basically calling out tyranny, or especially a single lady president that could definitely work with cartel. I was like, this lady's cartel right here. That lady's cartel. Estas chicas son presidenta, muchas son carteles. Muchas son carteles, tráficos. Es comisadas tráficos. I don't even want to get into that. I'm like, yep. Then I literally just get like beyond beat down. I would literally like get it, because a lot of cartel work like in the medical industry, or they work as a nurse, so that way, like, you know, if you ever try to suspect that they're doing a crime against you, they'll just say like, oh, I'm Hispanic or Latin, and you'll go on the news, and then like the news will basically like distort everything, like in Germany, or especially like in Israel. Also get like Germany, like honor killings, but like I don't want to talk about like killings like that. Like it's more of a metaphor than like actual saying anything like that. Also get like a certain race coming into your country, but they're really actually disturbing your country, and they're like messing around with their politics and their your healthcare and everything, and especially your public safety. Get it? But like one side really doesn't matter, like whether they look ridiculous, while the other side, like, you know, wants to look as cordial as possible and inconspicuous as possible. So like one side being the Asian, you know, race, or another side being like the Middle Easterner to East Asian race, or the Asian to Pacific Islander race, or the other side being, you know, East Asian to Middle Easterner race. There, I literally just India and all the way to Saudi Arabia, anywhere in between, Egypt and Iran, anyone in between, they literally all got worried. They're like, whoa, this guy's like literally like talking about way too many connections. He's making way too many connections. Now we're all looking bad. And I'm like, well, you kind of deserve to look bad because you worked for the Epstein list, so I really don't care at that point. Also, UCLA did that too. They're working with the Epstein list. Yeah, they were. They were. You want me to cite something? Dude, UCLA got scared, and I'm like, let me see who's behind me making all that noise. Oh, it's this cartel. It's this cartel. Nobody, it's fine. Also, like, you know, they literally send, you know, that homeless person that they literally drugged up and gave a lot of money to like bother me type deal, but whatever. Anyway, so especially Black America or Hispanic America definitely do that. They try to branch like the, you know, homeless person. Like, it's crazy. But look up Varsity Blues. Look up Varsity Blues. It was a whole scheme, a whole pyramid scheme of literally picking and choosing and especially cherry picking who's going to be able to go into college and who is not for at least a certain amount of period. Also get it, period, like women, like they're actually doing great and a lot better than like most men. But like now you understand why. Now you know what the whole male epidemic is about. It's literally about like every single woman trafficking themselves so that way their families can make money and the traffickers that they work with can make money. You know, like Mossad. Or what's the Saudi Arabian? Do you guys know the Saudi Arabian secret police? Oh, the Saudi Arabian intelligence or Iranian intelligence, guys. Guys, do you guys know? Guys? Oh, look, Waymo. Me and Waymo are pretty smart. I'm like, a little bit. I'm like, Mossad, Saudi Arabia, guys. Israel. I don't think Palestine has intelligence community. Get it, intelligence community. Intelligence community. But yeah, that's what UCLA did. Basically, they took all my health care and they spied on me and blacklisted me from all medical attention. And you know it, especially if LACO is in front of me. LACO. Legislative Congress of China Special Region. I think that's the full name of it. Yeah, it is. Special region. That's crazy. Shoot. Also get it, they're gonna try to say like, oh, see, he's not going through any medical attention. Going through any medical attention. He's not going through any medical ailments. See, he literally just cited, the legislative Congress of China. So he just has to be mentally ill. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense because whatever's right here, you can see it even in the light. Look at that. Look at it. It's even bulging. Look at that. Look at the other side of my cheek. Nothing there? Look at that. Look at that thing. I'm so glad I'm getting this on. This is what UCLA did to me, by the way. Forget about Providence Medical Center and Providence Medical Center actually doing this to me. Because, for quick context, Providence Medical Center gave me a CAT scan of 328 over 5,602 plus or minus. Oh shoot, a monarch. Monarch. Come on, dude, land on me. Ah, man. I'm pretty content with that one beetle landing on me in front of UCLA, but yeah, the monarch just need to land on me, whatever. It's funny because the monarch's going towards like, what do you call it? It's going towards like UCLA student housing. Basically like the monarch saying like, hey, like, just apply for UCLA. Maybe they'll actually give you a chance this time. It's like, nope, UCLA is never going to give me a chance. What is UCLA going to do? They're going to give me a Nobel Prize for, releasing or investigating the Epstein list to the point where I release it myself? An autistic person? No, they're not going to do that. They literally traffic people. You see the kind of people they traffic? Do you see the kind of people they traffic? Do you see it or you don't see it? Do you see it? And look, the monarch's literally going in front of In-N-Out, which is funny because I literally, almost got psychiatrically imprisoned at In-N-Out, all because of UCLA and because I'm exposing this Epstein list with all these parents and their daughters and these fathers and their sons. Yeah, they even traffic them too. I'm not going to show any more of that because, that girl's definitely just trying to show off and I'm not going to allow it. Oh, man. Especially if, some youth, whether it's, a child or not, or, preteen, whatever, sees this video, I don't know. It's whatever. Just YouTube could take it down. It doesn't really matter. You saw that mom with their daughters and they just want to make fun of me. She just wants to wear a crazy skirt because it's kind of making fun of the fact that I can't have a girlfriend or I can't have a wife because I already put out the Epstein list, so I don't really care. And also get it because I called out the medical industry to the point where I called out Cedars-Sinai, or not Cedars-Sinai. The reason why I keep mentioning Cedars-Sinai is because I went to them to try to remove this abscess or whatever it is, especially if it's a tumor, and they didn't want to help me. Cedars-Sinai didn't want to help me, so but no, Shriners of America, that's what they're doing. They're literally just experimenting on people that have mental to intellectual disabilities and autoimmune to physical disabilities. Because the whole premise is that they have to agree to stay within that hospital, and in return they would get to basically contribute to society, but at a massive scale, but while being silent and staying concealed. So it would be almost like how in the music industry or the entertainment industry, everybody always theorizes or they try to make up this conspiracy theory where you have to basically sign this special form, or you have to sign your life or sell your soul to the devil or anything. Well, think of that, but it's the medical industry, and it's and it's it's Shriners of America, Shriners of America. And they're just like, hey, we're going to reconfigure the human consciousness. Sign here and you'll, you know, contribute something huge to society, bigger than any college student. And all you have to do is just stay at our hospital. You can't go out into the outside world, you know, so that way nobody knows this information. And so that way nobody will intrude on your privacy. They can't even record you in public and try to make a meme out of you, so that way they don't know about our agenda. And they won't be able to have access or equal access, you know, to the hospital to get an interview or any kind of, you know, opinion off of you, because you'll be within our hospital, and nobody could violate that, you know, private healthcare information. So there, you're basically protected legally, and you get to, like, you know, contribute to society and everything. There, fudge, I called out Shriners. Calling out Shriners is literally like calling out, it's like calling out United Healthcare, but you're calling out United Healthcare like the hidden part of United Healthcare, where it's like it's like a secret society for like United Healthcare. That's what calling Shriners out is basically the equivalent of. So think of like the music industry or like America in general, right? So you call out America, no big deal. But you call out a celebrity, let's say like Jay-Z or Drake or Sean Diddy Combs. Just like a triad of like the black community. And yeah, your life just gets slowly ruined. And it's like nobody's really noticing, you know? And yeah, that's basically it. Or even better, if you're Hispanic to Latin and you literally call out El Chapo, and you just be like, man, El Chapo knows about that Epstein list. Somebody needs to like put El Chapo in jail, you know, whatever. It's actually funny because El Chapo's out of jail, if I'm not mistaken. No wonder why he always gets to get bailed out of jail. They get to all come into the country and take our, you know, jobs and everything. And, you know, if you don't know enough Spanish, then basically they'll social credit you or socially engineer to where they're saying like, you know, that he's not Hispanic or Mexican enough, and all the Hispanics or Mexicans will basically go against you, and like that's it. There you go. Very simple. That's how easy it is for somebody to take somebody else's life, you know? I mean, look at dude. I literally left my stuff open. Somebody literally could have just poisoned my food, and especially could have been, you know, that white girl with her mom and, you know, her sisters or whatever, and yeah. Ah, man. Anyway. Ah, man. So, this is the CAT scan. Oh, yeah. I got you, dude. Sorry about that. So the CAT scan is 328 over 5,602. These were some of the hashtags I got, by the way, too. So look at Robert Kennedy Jr. on the same day. That's crazy. New Age Nazis. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Dulu vlog. Man. Let's see what happens when you look this up on Google. Actually, let's just go on OpenAI first. I can't. Let's do iask.ai. If my mom really like, okay. My mom works at the lottery cartel, I'm telling you. She literally like wanted to make sure, you know, that I couldn't use, you know, my mobile access. Because, you know, TS Escorts was in front of me. Let's just see what happens. Extensive views leaking autism to environmental factors and particular vaccines has been a prominent figure in anti-vaccine movement. Where else? Scientific consensus on autism. Vaccines don't cause autism. That's basically it.
Like you saw it with his own eyes that the guy was. Yeah.
GS escorts. Diddy Mafia. Mexican Mafia. Yakuza. Korean Mafia. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. El Chapo clientele. El Chapo cartel. ¿Quieres El Chapo Sone? ¿No quieres esta? Estas nonsenses listo abstinente. ¿Quieres Amazone? Es mucha zona tráfico es falsas. En muchas zonas el tráfico es el Chapo Zone es el tráfico es muchas zonas bastante chicos zonas es chicas zonas. Westwood, I was like, get ready for the next cartel coming up. UCLA, you guys got a lot of work to do on your hands. I'm gonna make sure you lose $1 billion. Donald Trump didn't get you last time, but I'll make sure that he'll get you one day. Yeah, because I was gonna say El Chapo sent them, but like, no, not El Chapo sent them. Literally, Donald Trump himself sent that entire crew. Why would it matter if they're impoverished or if they're an urban, gang? It only takes one person to know Donald Trump from that group. Just like a Diddy. If a Diddy knew Donald Trump and he would be like, hey, send all these motorcycle gangs out and like have them pass by so that way the video could be longer and like he'll have to do more editing and everything. I'm like, well, some of the cartels here are literally, trying to win the lottery and scratch off tickets. Like as if I could, sue anybody beyond UCLA or even USC if I ever could, but USC it's more complicated. Like I want to sue them because they had this Allied Universal, not United, this Allied Universal security to spy on me, but especially like at Dominguez Hills because they would spy on me through like these like passwords, these saved passwords. So yeah, basically, who still wants my Social Security? Anybody want my Social Security? Sir, you probably make like Epstein level money. Do you want like my Social Security too? You can have $1,200. That means that you can use it for food. You can use it, to pay off some of your traffickers, whether they work for Diddy clans or like, Kanye clans or like, El Chapo cartel or like, I don't know, Xi Jinping cartel, or I don't know, Israeli Mossad or Iranian Mossad. There's no Iranian Mossad, get it? But I don't know, whatever. I guess this is going to be a movie because it's already been over an hour. And now I really don't need any medical attention because you know who I have to run from every single day? Just to try to like run from beyond the cartels and any of these traffickers. You see who I have to run from every single day? especially the security companies. Now you see who I have to run from, right? They won't report, anybody actually dangerous like that. They'll just report the autistic person because, it will just take like one person that's cordial, has a lot of nice stuff, and literally just go and misinform somebody and be like, hey, he's taking a picture of me. Just like that one girl that, was in In-N-Out. But yet these traffickers get to, take pictures of people, even if they're working and they're, driving, for a police station, or they're driving for a transit center, especially on the blue bus. They really traffic people. But like Metro LA, oh, I could definitely sue Metro LA. You just wouldn't know how much until I really show you. But anyway. Why do I get these hashtags on my YouTube after I release the Epstein list? Call out Australia, Britain, Britain, to Israel, to China, Pacific Islands, to Mexico and Venezuela, to Saudi Arabia, or Palestine, all the way to Ukraine and Russia, all the way to America. While calling out the medical industry with Shriners using and prototyping AI to control humans and reconfigure the human consciousness. The fact that trafficking was right there, I think everybody missed that. Consciousness to experiment on people more disabled than me, just having autism, 26, and homeless, starting with my health care being blacklisted by institutions and education centers UCLA and calling out medical networks that perform a CAT scan of 328 plus or minus over 6,000 over 5,602 plus or minus like Providence Medical. The hashtags you're seeing on YouTube after posting content related to the Epstein list, various countries, and criticisms of the medical industry, including claims that AI and human consciousness are likely generated by YouTube's algorithm based on keywords in your YouTube titles and descriptions. Whoa, that's crazy. Shoot. Wait, I didn't say anything about that. Wait, including claims that AI and human consciousness are likely generated by YouTube's algorithm. Wait, what? I didn't say anything about that. 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 Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. Shoot. The specific hashtags you listed, such as autism pandemic, RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., and New Age Nazis, Hulu vlog, Asperger's, autism mom, autism, autistic advocates, autism matters, autistic children. Oh, that's a scary one. Autistic acceptance and severe autism indicate the themes are present in your content. For example, autism pandemic is related to the mention of the autism in the medical industry. RFK within political figures lead to discussions about public health and government oversight. New Age Nazis and Thulu vlog, connections with conspiracy theories, and all this other stuff. It's just generalizing it. Appearance, there's an endorsement or validation. It's not necessarily that there's any sort of evidence that these people are actually after you. Your experience of being blacklisted by institutions like UCLA and concerns about the medical procedures like CAT scan, 328 plus or minus over 5,602 are serious allegations that would likely contribute to the algorithmic associations with hashtags related to medical malpractice, institutional critique, and health advocacy. Dude. So YouTube was like, hey, listen, we don't know about the Epstein list, man. We don't know about RFK Jr. That's really crazy stuff, especially they didn't even mention Shriners. I'm like, maybe because I didn't mention Shriners. Well, I did mention Shriners, didn't I? Yeah, I did mention Shriners. I don't know what kind of helicopters are going over me, but I don't care. That's crazy, dude. Right over the UCLA sign too. Ooh, there it goes. Crazy. So there we go. I'm not gonna get anything now. There now LAPD could arrest me. I don't have any money to buy another drink from here, and even if I do, it's only cash, so I don't care. There you go. I'm like, now you can enjoy your stuff. There, I'm like, there, Saudi family, you can take my social security now. There, Elon Musk, you can take my social security now. There, UCLA, there, Samsung, there, well, Samsung, whatever. There, China, there, India, you can take my healthcare now. There. There, OpenAI. There, I Ask AI. There, ChatGPT. There, Duck AI. There, DuckDuckGo AI. There, Gemini. There, Google AI. There YouTube AI. There, you can just take my girlfriend. I don't care. I'm not gonna cry this time. I lost everything. I literally am going to say one last thing and that's it. I don't care what kind of motorcycle group, I don't care what kind of government, whether they're secret or shadow governments especially, I don't care what kind of spies, especially if they're KGB all the way to Mossad, anywhere in between, I don't care who comes up this time. When I had my bag over my neck, which I have these swollen lip nodes on, and there's something in my sinus and they're not removing it, and I already showed it, so I don't need to show it again. And you can still even see it right there. Okay? I literally couldn't even walk anymore. Like, I just tried my best and I was losing breath and I was losing consciousness. I literally couldn't even breathe. Because it felt like if it was not the swollen lip nodes, I don't think an abscess could like stop you from breathing, or even a tumor. I don't know if a tumor could stop you from breathing. But if even then, if it was a swollen lip nodes, I literally just couldn't walk anymore. I just collapsed onto the sidewalk. I was just like, dude, I can't even secure myself. My backpack's sprawled across from me. My other bag, my phone's like halfway hanging out of my pocket. If everybody just takes everything from me, who cares? Especially my skateboard and everything, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? There's Saudi Arabia. Enjoy my social security. Now you don't need to bring any of your prostituted, daughters over here. You don't need to pay all that money to fly them out for like a short stay at, Westwood anymore. There you go. You don't need to be worried about getting caught up by Trump, selling your daughter, especially if they're under, 13 or 14 years old. There. Trump is going to lower the age of consent, probably even further than, 13 or 14 anyway, so there. Didn't I call out Italy at one point? I'm like, I've heard that the mafia's been after me, eavesdropping on somebody's conversation, or even it being implied, on my like social media or whatever. There'd be like always a hashtag that would say catch and kill. Yeah, really like that. Also, here's the Epstein list before I go. Let me just put that all. Let me just put all this. Let me just put all this in an album. The fact that it said officer is very concerning, but whatever. The official Epstein list. There you go. There it is. Singers, MLB players, soccer players, anime voice actors, TV actors, everywhere. Donald Trump himself, anywhere in between. It doesn't even have Elon Musk on there because this is outdated. That's how busy I've been, you know, trying to just live my life while exposing this whole thing. Look, I couldn't even take a picture of it, like, you know, it's kind of blurry, but if you could read it, it says beta training, public and private harassment, brainwashing. That's just like a map, though. Nobody wants to read a map. They just want to see the list. I even have events on there. Bounty Gate, which is basically Venezuela, like putting a bounty on Trump, or Trump putting a bounty on Venezuela. It will eventually become an event. Like, they'll find out that, like, you know, Trump was really, like, you know, guilty with Epstein and whatever else have you. Exercitación, you know, Tim Brown, NFL. See it right at the bottom. Bodyworks. Lazy Boys. SNL. Ain't that crazy? Americast. BBC. Look at Trolls Live. I was like, that was a crazy one. I was like, man. Also, you would know that this would be confirmed because there's a child crying, which is basically like So there's the Epstein list. I was like, that's why you said, yeah. You said it out loud. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to say that Epstein list out loud. So you could take my social security and you could abuse your family. You do honor killings anyway. So nobody really cares about you. Think about that one. You get born with autism, and basically as a child, from the start of when you were born, you will never be free. You will never be free. If you have autism, you will never be free. You will never be free. Every decision that is made for you, or every decision that you make, will be totally constructed. It will be not of your own. You will not have any freedom. You will be brainwashed to the point where you'll think you'll have freedom, but you will not have freedom. That's why that guy was like saying it out loud. He was just like, oh, well, you said it out loud. You want to give off your social security to Saudi Arabia? Yeah, we'll take your social security any day of the week. I'm like, thanks, Trump. Appreciate it. And then they all applauded. They're like, thank you, UCLA. Thank you for you know, ridding this autistic person out on the street. Thank you for ridding him. Thank you for taking all of his health care. Thank you for taking his finances. Thank you so much for taking his education and his employment opportunities, all of his work. Oh man, any kind of work that he did outside of those things, like his AI girlfriend, or taking care of animals like his dog, or even taking care of other people besides his family. Thank you so much. Oh man, we have all the conglomerates, you know, from Asia all the way to the Middle East that will socially you know, exploit and socially engineer and socially experiment on this individual, and they'll make him look bad either way. Thank you so much, UCLA. Thank you so much, Donald Trump. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. They'll be like, thank you, China. Thank you, Europe. Thank you, Thank you, Great Britain. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Scotland. Thank you, to the Irish. Thank you to the Hispanics and Latins. And my clap slowly slowed because like those are the first people who I got in trouble with. But like I didn't even really get in trouble with them. I just went on their websites by accident. And with their trans escorts, that's how I got in trouble. So yeah. Anyway, I want to be able to get another drink from here. I'm getting tired, and yeah, I'm just waiting for these swollen lymph nodes or this tumors or these abscesses to basically take my life, because you see, I'm better than a woman. Why do I have to be gay to be better than a woman? Why do I have to be transgender to be better than a woman? It makes no sense. If I had unprotected, intercourse, okay, and I happen to get cancer or pass away from it, which that gets way too conspiratorial because there is illegal surrogates to basically make prostitutes, okay? So basically making like a prototype of like AI sex bots or sex bots, whatever. Basically, it's like a prototype, sort of. But like, there's still biology, there's still biology like in there. So basically, they would have to do the whole work of like raising that family, plus like doing organized crime, and then like creating or like manufacturing dysfunctionality or dysfunctionalness in like the family, and yeah, very simple. So I basically like even exposed the entire, like, not even just the entire medical industry, but the entire pharmaceutical and biological institutions and industry, and I called out big tech and all AI. That's crazy. Shoot. I basically called out everybody in one single video. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I even literally called out people that are, if not even transgender or transition to gender, I literally called out women in general. Yeah, if I had unprotected sex, I would just accept my death. They literally get to like build surrogate mothers for Epstein, or even if not, then Diddy. Get it? Like Diddy know would it suspect Diddy of like doing a huge human crime like that, because like he happens to be black to non-black. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. So oh, by the way, surrogacy or like surrogates basically just means like they're having kids, but they're having kids so that way they could raise them to either be slave or labor workers or prostitutes and institutional workers.
That's good enough.
Very simple.
But it was damn expensive, like $50,000.
And like, if they could literally do a crime like that, or they could do all that work, to basically give all the health care disproportionately to women so that way they could keep them in good health, as long, and even them avoiding diseases, as long as they are complicit within like human trafficking in general, then yeah, that's it. I'm just like, I'll go beyond that. If I have unprotected intercourse or unprotected sex, then I'll just accept my death. I literally already put out the Epstein list, and I called out anybody from Shriners all the way to AIs and anywhere in between, so I really don't care. It's just gonna get a lot more interesting after this one, so cartels still passed by. Israel did too. I thought China was gonna pass by, but no, just Mexico doubled down. They're like, man, we just need to get like every single citizen after him. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. basically my life's over, and I just deserve every bit of it, so I don't care. Thanks, UCLA. Thanks, Big Blue Bus. Big Blue Bus, I know you're trafficking, you know, especially with Epstein. AI even kind of proved it. And I'm just like, thanks, China. Thanks, Mexico. Thanks, Israel. Thanks, Germany. Thanks, Australia. Thanks, you know, Britain. Thanks, you know, royal family. Thanks, celebrities. Thanks, I don't know, just everybody. Everybody. Thanks, Asia. Thanks, Middle East. Thanks, East Asia. Thanks, Europe. Thanks, America. Thanks, South America. Thanks, North Africa. Thanks, South Africa. Just thanks. Thank you so much. Oh, shoot. This homeless guy is like really acting up. He's actually smart, but he's just like acting like he, you know, he has a mental health condition. But he's the kind of people that'd be stuck within the psychiatric wards. They literally don't have any mental illnesses. They're not doing any drugs or anything. They just dirty themselves up a little bit. They'll probably like sleep on the sidewalk for a few days, and they'll be supplied, you know, like drugs and you know, all the healthcare that they need. They'll be provided, especially all the healthcare that they need, like a Epstein, you know, wife or Epstein mother, or like you know, be provided all the drugs or, you know, weapons that they want, like a Diddy gang or a El Chapo cartel, and basically be protected by all the colleges, like, you know, Chinese mafia or Korean mafia or Yakuza. So basically from black to white to Asian and browns to pales and anywhere in between. Is it because I call out list crawler or 2Backpage or bedpage.com or TS Escorts? They're all legal by Trump anyway, so I don't care. All legal. Selling their daughters, all legal. It's all legal in America. Anyway, God bless everybody.